having a good half and a bad half the past couple of games, and against Louisville. What do you say are the issues? What have you guys identified that, this is really the killer for us?
Well, the hard part is it hasn't really been a chronic one thing. You know what I'm saying? We've had some kind of inopportune or unfortunate things happen at critical times. Had the penalties. On the first drive of the game, we have a really long drive against Virginia Tech, and we have 2 penalties back to back as we're driving, getting down there in the red zone, and those ended up being killers for us on that drive. You have a couple drops in this last game. You have a couple just missed throws. We had a little bit of an unfortunate deal happen have a nice drive going to start the game against Pitt, and we have a fumble from kind of an unfortunate deal that happened there protectionally. So it hasn't really been a chronic, one thing. So I think just the message to our guys and our staff is, listen, we gotta understand that we gotta get back to doing kind of the common things at a higher rate. You know what I'm saying? Like just our routine plays, the strain and all that stuff, the effort has been unbelievable. I mean, the will to win that you saw in this previous game was inspiring to watch, from our players. But I just think it's kind of the routine things. We just got to make sure that we're really, really consistent in doing that at a high rate. I mean, that's the ultimate message.
What do you attribute the drops last couple games?
I think always drops comes down to focus, right? I mean, usually if you're a receiver, you're trying to go ahead and think about your move when you catch the ball and just those things. So I've been a receiver coach. I know, ultimately those drops usually come down to focus.
I guess again, when you say that the effort's not a problem, the strain's not a problem, if there's issues of focus, or there's things, lapses, I guess, penalties, how do you address that? And how do you get players to get back to doing the fundamental things?
We stress it all the time, and we've had flashes and stretches throughout our season where we've been really, really good at those things. So I think it's just still trying to create with some young people that are playing for us offensively that, hey, as the course of the season goes on, the grind kind of gets real down the stretch you got different distractions going on that just kind of happen at the end of the year. And I think for a lot of our guys, this is kind of the first time they're experiencing some of those things, first season and all that. But, it's just kind of the same message every day is like we got to continue to do those things at a high rate. And so sometimes you just got to go through that as young players especially.
What do you think y'all could have done in the second half in particular against Pitt to take advantage of some of the one-on-one opportunities in the passing game?
Yeah, listen, you always have hindsight's always 20/20. There's been a lot of things when just in my young career where we've had a really, really great output offensively, scored 50 points, 500 yards or whatever, and there's been a lot of times in those games I've come away disappointed with some things and things I wish I would have done better. So that's no different even with this game, obviously. So yeah, I wish we would have attacked them more. It just kind of became that type of game. They did a nice job of kind of neutralizing the run game and kind of bottling up Phil in a way. So it just kind of became a game where we probably needed to do that more. So that was the biggest, regret is not going after them a little bit more.
How much did the OL injuries kind of impact you guys in the second half of this game?
Hey, those guys, listen, they did, obviously there's a lot of things we could have done better, and, I wish we could have done better there, but those guys gutted it out and found a way. I haven't really been a part of that where you had so many moving parts up front and some drastic changes of where guys were in the span of one play. So yeah, there's always some things that it probably maybe hindered us a little bit because of that, but man, hats off to them because that was a heck of an effort by those guys up front.
I feel like over the progress of last year and even the start of this year, we've heard the conversation about encouraging Cade and Cade's development in taking what's being given. And I feel like that 50-yard touchdown, hearing him talk about what he saw, that's another one of those examples. Just to see that and to see him get rewarded in such a massive way. Just how beneficial is that for his continued development and for your team to see?
It just builds confidence. Those sort of plays, listen, he's made two you know, kind of career plays for him thus far at Clemson the last 2 weeks, you know, and plays that we'll always remember with Kate Klubnik. Like, he's made 2 of those in the last 2 weeks. You know, so I mean, obviously that's going to build your confidence, and then just to finish that way for him, for us as a team offensively, the kind of day we were having to gut it out and find a way there at the end in a 2-minute situation with 0 timeouts. I mean, that's one I'll never forget, that's for sure.
Dabo talked about how big those wins are, and your team said after the game, like, nobody doubted that you were going. So that progress is there. I'm sure, even in the time you've been here, of just that confidence that they can go win those games. But in your experience and just big picture, like, how important and the impact of a win like that on these guys?
Coach hit it right on the head. I mean, when you win a game like that coming down to it, that probably you shouldn't have won, you know, where things are going against you and it's unlikely down the stretch and all of that, and to find a way to never lose the confidence, never lose the belief, like we truly felt that on the sideline as players, as coaches, and it's just hard to even describe, but it's special. And so when you find a way to win that, well, now all of a sudden you have this confidence and this belief moving forward that no matter what happens, we know we can find a way to go win this game. And that's kind of the reality that these types of games, you know, brings to the table for us moving forward.
On the 4th and 1 pitch up play to Moffa, what would you see to kind of make that call? And Dabo said that y'all all kind of looking back on it, liked the call, but it essentially just kind of played better in that moment.
Yeah, listen, we've been pretty good on some of these little 4th and shorts and stuff like that. We've had some, you know, conversions, but some big plays this season on some of those situations. And so we had the call that we liked. He had kind of a 2-way go. He had some options on what to do with the football, but it's a split-second decision, literally. And you know, the biggest thing is the defensive end really didn't chase like we thought, and we just weren't able to really outflank him with Phil. So yeah, I mean, obviously it was disappointing in the moment, but it was certainly a call that we all felt good about.
Given he's gone after this year, how big could maybe this upcoming game be for getting some of those backups, maybe a little bit more opportunity?
Yeah, really big, really big. I mean, yeah, naturally gonna get a lot of reps, a lot of opportunity for those guys. But yeah, I'm excited to see him. You know, from that position at running back and some of our other positions on offense. Really excited to see some of these guys get the green light and ready to roll.
Easy Movie specifically, what about him?
Yeah, Easy's gonna play. Excited about him. I mean, he's just kind of continued to get better as the year's gone on. Just kind of caught up with things mentally. But he's a physical guy that loves contact. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's one of those that kind of licks his chops to have some physical runs. So excited to see him, you know, in a game environment.
And with hindsight being 2020, do you wish you'd gotten these guys some extra touches over the past month or so, considering Phil's workload, or is it just a trust issue, or?
No, I mean, I think no. It's not a trust issue. It's really not. It's kind of with the way some of these games have unfolded a little bit. It's a combination of that, you know. But yeah, I mean, once we get through at the end of the year and you're kind of really big picture in this thing, in this segment of our season, do I wish we would have got these guys a little bit more reps? Yeah, probably. But I also know that Phil's been really good and it's been productive for us. And the way some of these games have unfolded, it's you know, it's been hard to kind of take him out at times too.